Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. We are here once again to fool around and play around with the giant, big battleships. Uh, Not sure we're going to be doing too much today in terms of shit. Because there isn't exactly all that much in terms of what we're doing at the moment, other than waiting for the fucking French to actually build a fleet. I mean, they have warships. They just don't have many warships at the moment. Not enough to justify doing shit. Just gonna post to a few places I'm live, and then we'll get started officially. There we go. There's all set. Just got one more last thing to do. Alright, there we go. That's all set. Let's see. We're currently losing money, but that is more because I am doing mass refitting of the fleet, if I remember correctly, along with constructing a new warship. One single Grand Guy. Which isn't called the Grand Guy because we currently have a Grand Guy being built. There we go. That solves all problems. No, we're not going to war with the Soviets. Signed a special alliance agreement with the French. Which means they've ditched the Germans, which means we'll probably see the Dutch again when we go up against the French. Though, to be fair, we probably won't. Why are you here? Head on over to San Diego because I think you're part of that group. I don't know why you're there, but I think you're part of their group. Probably. Denmark wants an Exovita class, sure thing. Ship design. I think we can get a J under construction. Nope. We can get a second Grand Guy under construction. That's about all we can fit in. We have another Onyx class battleship available. You guys have 9 battleships, 7 battleships. You could use another battleship. We'll send you down here to go join up with their squadron. Naval communications. Are we about to... Yep, we are about to unlock a maximum crew increase, so that'll be nice. Armor cost decrease. That's nice to have. What do we... Oh, modernized Dreadnought Hull 1 and 2. Those are coming up on us a lot faster than I would have thought they would have been. I think that's the last of the ships we needed to refit. I think. Anti-floating 3, 2 mechanism 4, enhanced submarine torpedoes, advanced navy drills, sonar station 1. I think that was the last of the refits we needed to do. Let's just double check all the boats. Anybody get missed? The Thong got missed. Must have been out of port when, must have been under repair. Alright, we're gonna build 2 J's. Alright, so let's see. That pushes it up to 280, I think. Just building 2 of those. $290. Can't get another Grand Guy into production, but I could produce a few more Nexovita class. Yeah, I can get 2 of them built. Advanced mines, advanced funnels. How is France doing? They are up to 89 vessels. I don't know how our army logistics has gone down when we've been building more ships. That doesn't make sense. I will never understand how the army logistics works in this game. Because it's like, oh, you know, we need to do all this shit. Let's see. Nope. Barbette Anti-Flash 5. That we're definitely gonna need to install. Research. Yeah, that'll be nice to have. Hull construction research. We're up to quality control 5. Capital Ship Towers, 1911. We're a bit past 1911. Clearly, we've not been doing too much research into certain technologies. Well, that next Avita, the Thong, is now refitted. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see too much action unless somebody declares war on us. But yeah, our main goal is gonna be to go up against France next, because they have the next smallest amount of territory in the Pacific. And they seem to have a mildly bigger fleet than the, sorry guys, we can't afford that dockyard space. Have a mildly bigger fleet than the British? No, actually, the British have a bigger fleet. Oh, the French have actually recovered quite a bit. Alright, let's see. They have 1,000,000 naval tonnage. How much do I have? I have 1,373, which isn't much more than them, but Jesus Christ. Also, Austria-Hungary is out of boats. Yeah. Yeah, this is their last port, I'm pretty sure. Crete is their last port. So, Austria-Hungary is about to get dissolved. RIP. I don't think I've ever seen the AI successfully survive as Austria-Hungary. They seem to just kind of go to war with everyone and then perish. But yeah, we're definitely going to need to install those sonar stations. But anyway, we got new hulls to play with. Which means 2 new hulls, which means 2 new decommissions of older hulls. Which is basically how I'm running this at the moment. So let's see, 28,750. Is that smaller than the hull that we used for the Grand Guy class? 31,000. Yeah, it is smaller. It can get smaller. Alright, so we'll definitely probably use this for a addition to the Grand Guy. Because it can get smaller. I don't know what the next generation of speed is going to be for our warships. Because the plan is that the older ships are going to get new engines soon. Next refit. And basically, we're going to try to go as fast as we can, with our oldest ships being the determining factor of how fast we go. Turbo electric engine, forced oil 1, electric, shaft 3, anti-torque 3, crop 4, reinforced bulkheads, triple the hull, anti-flood 3, citadel 4. Man, we really upgraded, didn't we? We're gonna go 16 inches on the belt. 10 on the fore and aft. Making our next generation of battleship just kind of impervious to most damage. Can I put it down here? Really? That doesn't fit in there? Does this fit? I think I have to make it wider if I'm gonna fit anything in there. Nope, nothing fits in there. Why do I have this space if you're not gonna let me put anything in there? Alright, this would probably fit. This definitely wouldn't. So yeah, we're not gonna bother with that. RDF, give it sonar 1 and a stereoscopic rangefinder. Actually, we're gonna go with a conic rangefinder. This is gonna be one of our newer generation close range vessels. However, we're gonna do 10-inch guns throughout the ship. I'm gonna drag this one back so then I can add in the funnel. Okay, we don't need a funnel that big. We're not gonna use pyrrhic acid. 2 powder, heavy shells, increased amount, electrical, enhanced reload, standard ratio, increased, barbette 5, capped, regular capped, high capacity. Turrets are already maxed out on their armor. What will go in those slots? Those are 2-inch slots, really. Guess I can put some there. I can put one here. It won't have any functionality to it. Unless I put it on a barbette. In which case, then it has full functionality, even with all these fucking lifeboats here. Sure, the logic works out somewhere here. Not entirely sure where it does, though. Install a pair of these here. That doesn't affect its firing arc too much. Let's see, can I install these here and it not affect the firing arc? It's gonna affect the firing arc, yeah. Increase those to 2%, so then they can be a little bit more accurate. Yeah, speed is definitely going to be the concern for a lot of our later warships, but this thing is very much the epitome of I don't give a damn. I'm just going to stick a bunch of guns on it. Let's see. Who to name this one after? This one will be the 0 class. Don't have a 0 class already, right? Yeah, I don't have a 0 class. And this is a more generic hull. Alright, how small do you get? Yeah, you do not get a small. 20 knots. Turbo electric engines. Force, oil, shaft, electric. Front 4, front 3, triple the hull, reinforced bulkheads. Citadel 4, anti-flood 3. As with the other one, heavy ass armor. Let's see, what tower do we want to go with? This is more aesthetics-wise than anything else. We'll go with a modern tower. This one will be our new shooter. You don't fit. You don't fit. You don't fit. Don't need that one. Don't need that one. That one will do. Ooh, she's a big boat. I wonder, can I use those in, like, tandem? Can, like, guns be put on top of these and shoot over each other? No, gun won't fit. Gun not flat enough. Damn. I am tempted to use 16-inch guns. Probably only in dual configuration, though, to try and get the most accuracy out of them. Let's see, back over to our bets. Oh, that kind of works. You only go on the fucking front. We're gonna equip you with 5-inch secondaries. What do you mean what do you mean it doesn't work there? There, install it there. There we go. Bit of a weird armament of fucking 5-inch placement, but works. And to make these things as accurate as possible, we gotta make them as long as possible. Which, unfortunately, that is as long as they go. We're gonna go with capped, high capacity, standard ratio, increased HE, 5, increased amount of ammo, and yeah. That should do it. Any slots for 2-inchers anywhere? That won't fucking take up random space I can't afford. I can put one here. I don't really need more front weight, though, is the thing. I guess I'll give her a little bit more range. This one will be the Nestor class. She probably won't be too effective with her 16-inch guns since they're Mark 1s, but she might get a bit more effective later. Might get more effective later. It's not a guarantee. Alright, modernized Dreadnought, but we're instead gonna make it small. In fact, we're gonna make it as small as we can. Needs to be able to hit 26 knots like her predecessors. Needs to have a ridiculous amount of armor like her predecessors. Needs to carry the lightest towers she can. Fortunately, that'll still not... Actually, it might fit in here. Nope. Well, it was worth a shot. As usual, acoustics, sonar, and a conic rangefinder. She will require a torpedo launcher on the deck. So that way then she can detect targets and destroy them. Let's see. Main guns. Center line, 9-inch, triple configuration. Alright. Can't fit another main gun. In fact, we can't even afford the guns we currently have. Electrical, loading, TNT, tube powder, heavy shell, increased ammo, standard ratio, capped, at capacity. Let's make her taller. Okay. That didn't fix her. What about her beam? Nope, that was worse. Alright, range. Cut it. Alright. Now we have some space left. Secondary guns, 8-inch. Then we'll scatter some 2-inch guns all about the boat. Give her a little bit more bite. Still too heavy. What about a gas turbine engine? We are gaining weight. Actually, no, we are losing weight by swapping out for a gas turbine engine. So yeah, we're probably gonna... Yeah, we'll stick with that. What does shaft give us? That gives us turning rate, so we're gonna keep that. I guess I can thin up the inner armor. Yeah, that helps. All right. She's got a bit of a French design to her with the whole just a shit ton of guns near the back that are smaller caliber. That won't fit in there. However, these will. Give these 2-inch guns a little bit more bite to them. Increase their length just a little bit. So that way then they'll have a better chance at punching through whatever it is that they're shooting at. We'll probably do the same for the 8-inchers, just to give them a little bit more damage and reach. And that'll do. This little pocket battleship here shall be the, who shall this one be? Fucking the Maverick. That's how you spell Maverick, right? Yeah, that's how you spell it. I always get confused. Is it spelled with an E or not? Yeah. To be fair, if I really wanted to be silly, I might be able to move this gun forward and put a barbette down here. More gun. But no, I think that's enough. Turbo electric, the gas turbine engine managed to get us enough weight saved that we were able to do this little silly, speedy battleship. Alright, that means we shall discontinue the Alice class. And the Birch class shall also be discontinued. Because we do have a few of them in service. I'm not going to build any more of them. I've built a few of them. I think there's 4 of them in service. Definitely one of the ships on the list to get a major overhaul at some point for more turrets in the front, I think. At least I think I haven't done that on the refit. I might have done that on the refit. Oh yeah, the Havana base model. Mark 1 14-inch guns and a single 8-inch gun in the back. Still one of the funnier designs. Alright. Again, the Cyber class is only remaining in service at the moment for the simple fact that I have plans to convert it into a silly anti-destroyer boat next refit. And I do plan to kind of build more of them. Yeah, in terms of the fleet, we do got some more ships on the way being constructed. We've completed refits of everyone. Though to be fair, considering the state the French are in, we might go to war sooner or later because there's a lot of tech we've unlocked that I kind of want to use. Alright. Portugal wants an Exovita class, sure thing. I can build those in droves. I mean, I can build them in droves when the shipbuilding capacity isn't overflowed with, fucking, ships. Oh yeah, I forgot we're allied with Italy. Yeah, our army logistics has only seemingly gone down, which I don't understand. I really don't know how that system works. Yeah, we now have the Zero, the Nestor, and the Maverick available as new ships. Ships I can't build yet at the moment because our shipyard is a bit overflowed with warships at the moment. Let's see. Who is in production? We have 2 of the J's, 2 of the Grand Guys. We'll put 2 zeros into production next. I really do need to go through and start distributing the older warships throughout the fleet. Or at the very least, storing them somewhere for when I need them. And replacing them with newer generation warships. Because eventually those ships are gonna reach a point where no matter what I do, there isn't gonna be much to save them in terms of what they can and can't do. I'll take the free money. Nice having new generations of warship. Of course, they give us the 16-inch Mark II after I design a ship that's designed for them. Sorry, guys, we ain't got room for an Havana class right now. Damn. There goes Austria-Hungary. She died how she lived. Splintered between different ethnicities. In the middle of the Balkans. Oh, the Americans have been also kicked out of northern Greece. Which means all they have left are their islands. That can't be good for their economy. Actually, their economy is surprisingly still decently intact. Their yearly naval budget isn't bad. Their army budget is pathetic, but their yearly naval budget... that's not bad. Well, since Austria-Hungary's dissolved, that means France is actually almost at war with the Italians. And Italy only has 56 vessels, so this should be interesting. I think Italy is the next pawn to fall in the order of ships that are being blown to smithereens. Mark 7 7-inch guns are now available. Sweden wants a cyber class. Sorry, guys, can't afford that. You want a grand guy class, can't afford that either, guys. Oh, some ships just came off the slipway. Sure, you can have a 0 class battleship, which immediately removes any chance of me being able to design more ships. But, you know, at the very least, we're keeping our allies somewhat well funded with warships. Yeah, we're still allies of Portugal, Sweden, Denmark, and Argentina. Scotland is allied with the Soviet Union, Brazil, and Canada. Who is invading Germany again? Are the Germans in the Soviets at war? No, they actually like each other quite a bit, so I don't know why Canada is invading Germany. The fact that America is still alive on a couple of dinky islands in the middle of the Pacific is impressive, to say the least. I could go kill them. It wouldn't be that hard to do. There ain't much left of the American Navy. Especially after their journey over to fucking take over Greece. In their attempt to rebuild America in the Balkans. Well, at the very least, we're gaining money again, so that means I can divert more funding to doing shit. Which means I can divert a little extra funding to research and development. Which should speed along a lot of our research. Yeah, we're finally getting radar. Which, once we get radar, that's an immediate refit. Like, we are not waiting around. Radar is the king of all rangefinders. Even Radar 1 is the king of all rangefinders. Like, the moment you get radar, you need to be implementing it. You cannot wait. Radar is, like, the most critical technology that you can get in this game. It makes life so much easier. Naval Tactics of the 20th Century, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. You want an 80 class. Unfortunately, we cannot afford to provide you an 80 class. We have 2 Nexovitas being commissioned. That's why we have some space available. I'm going to build one of the Mavericks. We'll get another one built once the once this Grand Guy is done being designed. I guess the Mavericks and the Grand Guys will kind of just be alongside each other as ships, as joint command ships. Oh hey, a massive boon of money. Where the fuck did that come from? Sorry guys, I really can't sell you shit. Oh yeah, also, upgrading to full oil. Like, a lot of our ships are still using either coal or semi-oil, and I think I upgraded most of them away from coal, but there are a few that still use coal in their fuel rather than A mix of the two. Instead of semi-oil. Oh, hey, we have some free room. Sure thing. That would be why we suddenly have a lot of money again. We now have more shipyard space. They want a Havana-class battleship, sure. It's a little out of date, but sure, if you want one, you can have one. We'll build another... can we build another Maverick? No, we can't afford space for another Maverick. We could afford space for 2 more Nexavitas, but not another Maverick. No. Research. Okay, we got the radar rangefinder 1. Which means another stream of just refit galore. Because we can't win. We just can't win when it comes down to fucking refitting the boats constantly. Fuck. Alright, let's get to refitting. Yeah, of course those aren't gonna fit. Auxiliary 3 engine, we're gonna... do we... Nope, we are keeping the gas turbine. We're getting swapped out for oil. Shaft 3, electrical steering, Krupp 4 armor, Barbette 5. Triple the hull. We'll keep Citadel 1. I mean Citadel 2, because I don't want to make these things too overweight. Conic rangefinder 5. Can I upgrade these with deck torpedoes? I can upgrade them with deck torpedoes. Where are your torpedoes? Alright, you have one on the back. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. If it'll let me put one in there. It will not. What I'm gonna do is rip those out. I'm actually gonna downgrade the funnel. What is that? That's a medium. I can swap it out for a small. That saves a lot on weight. Let's see. No mounts. No mounts. No mounts. No mounts. Oh, that one has mounts. Okay, pull that back. Pull this back. For some reason that works, so yeah, there we go. Make her a bit of a torpedo carrier. Electrical, upgrade her to TNT and tube powder. Increased HE. Gonna increase the length on the on the 2 inches by 1 more inch. Do I upgrade the torpedo size? They still work at 20-inch torpedoes, so that'll give this ship considerable range and considerable anti-submarine warfare capabilities, I would assume. Probably. We're gonna upgrade the belts a bit. And upgrade the armor. Ooh, we do not have much room for speed. That is gonna be a problem. $22 knots? Alright, we can push 22 knots. I think 22 knots is... Actually, we can cut the range. How far can we push this? 24 knots. Alright, 24 knots looks to be about as far as we're going to be able to push these. At the moment. Especially with the minor armor modifications. So 24 knots has fairly shitty range now, but I can live with it. I can live with reduced range. I don't send these guys out too far from their ports, and they'll be... Most of them will be relatively within range of ports, so... Yeah. Eventually, the Falcons will probably be downgraded to 9-inch guns. For the moment, they're going to keep their 10-inch guns, but eventually they'll probably get downgraded to 9-inch guns. Because the 9-inch gun turret will probably end up being the only one that can fit on the boat in the future. Alright, Sparky class. Alright, so the new goal is 24 knots. Ships have to reach 24 knots. No ifs, ands, buts, or exceptions. I'm not sure there's going to be much I can do to you. You also have the underwater torpedo launcher. Those only weigh 7.1 tons. So honestly, I'm going to leave you with your butt torpedo launcher. Nope. Definitely can't upgrade the sonar. What about Conic 5? That does leave out on getting her armor upgraded, though, is a problem. At the very least, she does need the radar upgrade. I think she can live with a Conic 4. I do kind of need to upgrade the armor, at least on the guns. Honestly, I might just forego torpedoes on her altogether. It's not much, but it's a little extra space. Just glue on like a millimeter of additional armor everywhere we can stick it. All right. It wasn't much additional armor, but it was something. Actually, can we swap this out for a smaller funnel? Is that the smallest funnel we have? Let's see, this is a... Oh, never mind. The engine efficiency would be way too low if I did that. Because that's a big funnel. Swapped it out for a medium funnel. Yeah, that would drop us down too much on engine efficiency. I want to keep some of the range by keeping the engine efficiency up. Yeah. Gotta stick with gas turbines because it's the only engine that'll fit in this damn thing. What if we upgrade to shaft 3? Nope. Electrical steering? Nope. Electrical hydro steering? Nope. We're gonna swap out for high capacity shells. Can I get Hydro 2? Nope, it's gonna have to be Hydro 1. That's the best you get. If she had secondary 5-inch guns, like the Falcon class, she'd definitely be a bit better off. But she has secondary 8-inch guns, which I am not too keen on removing. Because I kind of like her having these 8-inch guns. It's kind of nice. Kind of nice. I could make her a bit wider, but I think that would fuck us over on speed. On the principle of speed, I think that would fuck us. She's already a bit thinner than her contemporaries. So that's the Sparky upgraded, the Falcon upgraded. It's off to the Bella now. So many refits to be done, people. Our main goals, 24 knots and fucking radar. Those are our two main goals, and they must be achieved. If we can't achieve it, the class will be unofficially retired. Basically meaning it's going to be reduced to rear line service duties, such as just patrols, protecting convoys and shit. So yeah, let's see. 24 knots, that's the new goal. You are already struggling, and we haven't even fucking done much to you yet. You also have the butt torpedo. However, where can I fit this? Can I not fit this here? No, it has to be up here. Alright, I'm gonna remove that one and install a torpedo launcher. That is the most ambitious torpedo launch ever designed. Alright. Get the Gen 1 radar installed. We're losing out a bit. I think we'll purge the casemates. Yeah, that's all the casemates, I think. Unless there's one more somewhere else. Oh yeah, and also the butt torpedo. Don't need that anymore. That's... Oh, yeah, there's two in the front. Alright, get rid of those. That cuts back a bit on the weight. Not much, though. Swap out for high capacity HE. Get you up to Conic 5. Technically, you're meant more for long-range engagements, but honestly, at this point, yeah. Not much to be done about that. Alright, I can push for 12. Alright, can't push for that much armor. In fact, can't push for any armor. Yeah. Her armor scheme isn't great. It's not great. I think the Bella class and the Sparky class are definitely going to start seeing redeployments to rear line duties. Just sort of grouping them all up in a port and just deploying them out when needed. Because I think they've reached the point of they're just too old and expensive to try and fucking put together into a functional ship. Like, the Falcon class was pretty easy to fucking fit everything in and still have a little bit of wiggle room left over. The fucking, the fucking, Bringo fucking Burr. The fucking, fucking, fuck. Brain be braining. Anyway, as usual, 24 knots is our new goal. It's a very lofty goal, but, yeah, we do need to try and push it, though. It looks like the Sniffums might actually be the first ship that we have that can't achieve that. Where's your torpedo launcher? Oh, you have a front-mounted torpedo launcher. Yeah, we're gonna purge that. Yeah, the Sniffums class looks like it's gonna be the first ship that actually can't handle the upgrades. To be fair, I can kind of solve this by purging the main guns, or at least one of the main guns. Yeah, I honestly could just purge one of these and then swap it out for a dual configuration turret on the front Alright, how heavy does that make the front? Alright. It actually doesn't do much to the front. Alright, main guns, center line, 9-inch, dual configuration. There we go. She loses a bit of firepower towards the rear, but we can fix that. Actually, we can fix that with a torpedo launcher. Oh, nope, never mind. We cannot. Well, we could fix it with a torpedo launcher if I did that. And if I hadn't have made it a 18-inch torpedo, it would have been fine. Single torpedo tube. Honestly, just drag it as forward as we can stick it. That way then it has the best firing arc. That's a little silly. Yeah, we're not gonna have torpedo launcher. We need the radar is what we need. And obviously Barbette 5. And the RDF radio. What does she need to lose? Like, she already has standard crew quarters. There isn't much more I can do to cut back on her weight. I guess I could convert the side sponson mounts into single turrets. Side guns, 9-inch, single. Yeah, that cut back on the weight significantly. So now I'll install a butt-mounted torpedo launcher. 21-inch torpedo launcher. Conic rangefinder 5. And I think that leaves us enough room to at least push the armor on the turrets. And maybe get this up to 8 inches. Yes, it does. Can I get the definitely not 23. Alright, can we get this up to 9 at least? Nope. How up armored can we make it? 8.6. That'll have to do. I could also just get rid of this gun here while it is useful in terms of deterring smaller vessels. I'm not sure it's all that effective. How much does it weigh? 11 tons. Yeah, that wouldn't do much to change anything. Increase the length on the 2s a little bit, so then they have a little bit more reach. Yeah, for the most part, the Snipham's class is definitely one of those that's probably going to see a discontinuation in its future. Well, to be fair, I could make the beam smaller, but I think I have to have the beam this wide in order to make these gun turrets work better. I don't know. Let me check. 6.2 is what it was at. Oh, actually, we can just do that. And the engine efficiency will go up as well. And we saved on quite a bit of weight, actually. Which means we could dedicate that to more armor. Not much armor, but a little bit more armor. And a little bit more range on the 2-inch guns. Yeah, she's a bit smaller now, but she is able to do what she needs to do. She is still weirdly equipped in terms of the fact that she now has a single dual 9-inch main gun on the front with a bunch of side-mounted 1-barrel 9-inch guns. This ship design is just becoming more and more confused. The Stepos is definitely one of those ships that's just confused by what it needs to be. Alright, so next up is the Alice class, which saw a refit in the 1925. Let's see, can I fit a, can I fit one of these here? I can fit one of these here. Can I turn it around? I can turn it around. Can I fit another one back here? No. I can fit one of these here. And you did not go the way you were supposed to. There you go. Now the Alice class has a little bit more bite to it. 24 knots is once again the new goal. So of course we need to achieve that goal by any means necessary. I think we'll leave it on Citadel 2. Again, I'm not too concerned about upgrading off of Citadel 2. Definitely not taking pyrrhic acid. Oh, she's got underwater torpedoes. Where is it? Why is it on the front? Honestly, they should always be on the back. Give her sonar, stereoscopic rangefinder 5. Honestly, we're going to purge the torpedo tube. Let's see, 12 inches, 12 inches, 6 inches. Upgrade these to 8. Upgrade this to 12. Upgrade that to 10. Alright, what is the problem we are running into? Too much weight. Can we go down from forced boilers? We can go down from forced boilers. Alright. So that's good to know that on some ships, I can just go down to induced boilers and we can save a bit of weight. What about natural boilers? Huh, that actually saves quite a bit of weight. Huh. I'll have to remember that for some of our future vessels. Anyway, what are these? 13-inch guns? Increase the length on those, but I want these 13s to be able to fucking hit a target and punch through it. Yeah, 24 knots, and honestly, didn't have to sacrifice all that much. In fact, even learned a few new things about upgrades and shit. So as long as you got a good engine combined with good fuel, you can swap out for natural boilers. Which are a lot nicer to have. Right. Alice has been refitted. Technology is starting to advance quite a bit. Yeah, I did upgrade the Birch class with dual front turrets. Yeah, the Birch class is probably going to be one of those that's going to struggle a little bit with a modern refit of 24 knots. Just because she's covered in guns. There are a lot of guns, and she is covered in them. Alright, we're going to downgrade to Induce because I already know that'll save a bit of weight. Alright, we're going to go to 24 knots, oil, auxiliary engine, shaft 3, electrical turning, prep 4, Corvette 5, triple the hull. Keep that, anti-flood 3. Why are you at max HE? TNT. Oh, you have torpedo. Is it only in the back? It's only in the back. Alright. It is there entirely just to function as a counterweight, I would assume. Since the front end of this ship is absurdly heavy. Give her a Gen 1 radar, Conic 5, sonar, RDF. Honestly, we're gonna downgrade her to Hydro, unless Hydro weighs... Yeah, Hydro weighs slightly less than sonar. Not by much, but it weighs enough of a difference for me to, do this. Okay, yeah, we are not going up that much. Unfortunately, unless I purge the torpedo, which honestly isn't saving us much weight. Yeah, we already have electrical on here. Push up the armor as far as we can go. And that is as far as the armor wants to go on the superstructure. Let's see, what are these funnels? Funnel 2. Let's see, funnel 2 has... Yeah, no, these don't provide enough of a difference for me to swap it out and be like, oh. Actually, this one provides more efficiency for the same amount of weight. Why is that? You provide 1 less efficiency. Oh yeah, also dip her range. And that should allow me to get this up to 10 inches on the superstructure. Yep. 10-inch superstructure. Increase the length of the 9s. So then when they hit a target, it very much no longer... its armor will very much not survive. And yeah, that works. I mean, she's still absurdly heavy in the front. There ain't much I can do about that, other than move this backwards and set up a barbette here, but that would be too heavy. So yeah, the Birch is also another ship very much nearing its limits in terms of what its hull can do. Alright, Get rid of the birch. 1924 design. Oh yeah, you're the Prince George, aren't you? Or are you the Russian one we captured? I think it's one of them. This is either the Russian one we captured, or this is a, or this is the British one. This is one of our captured ships, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure this isn't one of ours. Yeah, this is the Russian one. This is our Russian prisoner. He could already push 24 knots, surprisingly enough. Alright, we'll do induced on your, fucking... Actually, now that we swapped out for oil, we can do natural boilers. Corrupt 3, Corvette 5, triple the hull, anti-flood 3. We'll downgrade the capped. Use high capacity electrical turrets. You have an underwater torpedo launcher, don't you? Yeah, you do. Kind of half tempted to swap it out for, swap out one of the 8-inch... Actually, I could just put one here. Yeah, it won't interfere too much with the other shit going on. As usual, reduced Gen 1 radar, sonar, stereoscopic 5, upgrade the armor, so that way then she matches our more modern take on armor schemes. I think we actually lost fucking shit on that. Now she's overweight. Well, I can fix that pretty easily. Yeah, she's a little bit of a ridiculous boat, but she is a funny boat. She is a funny, ridiculous boat. I don't think I can go higher on her crew, but 24 knots. She did achieve it pretty easily. Definitely didn't struggle on that one. Unlike some of the other ones. This one was pretty quick. Delete this old refit. Next, a Vita class. Another refit. Another round of refits, gentlemen. And the next Vita is a very small little battleship. She uses the same hull as the Brewski class, so she is a little bit better than the fucking Sniffham's class, because the Sniffham's class uses an older version that the Brewski comes in on. Do we want to try pushing 28 knots? I'm not sure we can push 28. Not with the armor layout that she's got. Yeah, it's gonna have to remain 26 knots for now. The next Ovitas may see a retirement in their near future. For now, that is not their time. I'd really want to get Citadel 4, but I feel like that's gonna fuck us over on weight. I can't go back if I do. Yeah, she's one of the... Oh, no, never mind. I got rid of her front-facing torpedo launcher. Give her a Gen 1 radar, sonar, so that way then she can actually hunt the things she's supposed to be hunting. Upgrade her superstructure to 10 inches. Upgrade her belt. Upgrade her deck. I don't think there's much more I can do. I'll try to push that to 12. Okay, can't push that any further. Unless I remove some of these secondary guns. Do I want to get rid of the 2-inch guns? At least the casemates? For additional armor? A little bit. They don't really provide much, and even, to be honest, this 2-inch doesn't provide much either. They're nice to have, but they don't do much. So let's get rid of those. That should allow me to cap off the turrets with their new armor. That should make the Exovita class a little bit more durable in combat. Oh yeah, I forgot we gotta get up to Barbette 5. She hasn't exploded yet, which is great. Unfortunately, I can't get her a smaller torpedo. Do fast torpedoes decrease weight? No. I think it's... Don't remember which one it is. Yeah, I can't upgrade to turbo electric because that'll be too heavy. I need shaft 3 to help with turning. In fact, I should probably set for an unbalanced rudder because it would increase her turning rate, but her acceleration would be cut down. Considering she's gonna be at close range, incendiary shells wouldn't be a bad idea for her HE. I guess she'll have to stick with Barbette 4. I don't see much other shit I could purge. Because I don't want to purge her crew size because she's already at 602 crew. She already has a very small crew to be able to man such a boat. So yeah, the next Ovita class and her command vessels aren't gonna go any faster than 26 knots. I'd love to push them a bit faster, but definitely not something I will do for now, at least. The next Ovita is already starting to see some of the limits of her design start to show. She's 10,000 tonnage, so she is already very much not a very refittable boat. Like, she could handle some small-scale refits, but not really speed refits because of her size. She's just a little too small to be made to go faster. With an engine designed for our fucking battleship. Alright, yeah. Fucking hell. That gun doesn't want to fit there. Gonna have to swap it out for one of the 2-inch guns. Put you there. And immediately delete you and put you there again. Let's see, any more guns have a poor selection of fire? Nope, 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 nope. Alright, everyone's pretty decent. Upgrade to oil. Auxiliary 3 engines. Shaft 3. Electric steering. Already have Prep 4. Corvette 5. You definitely can handle the Citadel 4 upgrade as long as I'm not stupid about it. Never mind, apparently you cannot handle the Citadel 4 upgrade. Really? I mean, if I cut back on your range, you can handle the Citadel 4 upgrade, but again, that is fucking wow. Yeah, she is one of the more heavily armored ones, though to be fair, her armor rating is honestly a little low, considering how I've been armoring these ships. Anyway, get her the Gen 1... Jesus Christ, really? Can't fit a fucking... that on there. Right, where's her torpedo launcher? She's got a butt one. But again, that's not going to be enough. Yeah, we're going to have to redo that. So we know that the Onyx class can't handle a Citadel 4 upgrade. We can't upgrade to Citadel 4. She has made it very clear. Citadel 4 is not an option. Swap out for semi-oil. Go 24. Auxiliary 3. Electric. Shaft. Purge these turrets. Purge those ones. Put in some more 2-inch guns. To balance shit out. Barbette 5. Don't know why you're running semi-capped ballistic shells. That is... Apparently I didn't fuck around much with the Onyx class. That would explain some of its performance issues. She only has standard reloading? And immediately overweight with the Gen 1 radar. Alright. I think we're gonna thin up the armor. More because I don't think I can get her to do much else. Purge the torpedo tube. That's not gonna cut back on too much weight. But Jesus Christ. Alright, there we go. She is a front-heavy bitch. Let's increase the armor on the 2 inchers, so that way then they don't explode as much. Stereoscopic 5, sonar. She now uses heavy shells. She is absurdly front heavy, which is not going to be great for her accuracy. But honestly, I don't give much of a shit. Get anti-flood 3 since we can fit it. Yeah, that'll have to do. She's definitely struggling a bit. I'll give her that. She's struggling a bit, but she can handle some of this. Some of it, but not all of it. Alright, so that version of the Onyx is done. Now on to more of our older generation boats that are just very much on the verge of quitting. Yeah, a lot of these older boats, I'm gonna have to eventually start retiring. They, like, officially retiring, not just the fact that I've already ended their production lines. Just officially retiring them, sending them home to home ports, so that way then they can function as security craft rather than like coastal patrol security craft rather than 24 knots. Okay, it's gonna have to be forced. Auxiliary engine. You're already running Krupp 4, Barbette 5, Anti-Flood 3, already running TNT 2, have high capacity, electrical, you just need Generation 1 radar, sonar installed. Damn, your deck... Can we finally get the conning tower back to where it's supposed... Nope. Conning tower only wants to go up to 4 inches. Okay. At the very least, we can up armor the 5 inches a little bit. Yeah, we're going to get this up to 8 and 5. We're going to upgrade the superstructure to 10. Because even if this thing blows up, I'd like the rest of the boat to be fairly resistant. We prefer this thing not to self-destruct. And I think that about does it for that. I don't think there's much else to be done to the Blue Raptor class. It's got... Actually, I could cut back on the range quite a bit. Yeah, alright, let's drive back the range a bit and see if we can fit the Citadel 4. We can fit Citadel 4. That'll definitely make her quite a bit more tanky, as shells will now have 3 layers of armor to go through before they actually do any major damage. I mean, the inner armor ain't much, but it's there. I guess we can put some of the range back. Didn't need to take out all of it. Yeah, the Blue Raptor, surprisingly enough, fairly modifiable. To be fair, it is a very strange design, but it is very modifiable. Yeah, going through all these is honestly a little annoying. Realistically, most players would have retired these older vessels by now, the ones that they would have had since 1890. Now's the time where you would have retired them. The only reason, I mean, other than the fact that I don't usually like to retire ships, I like to keep them around as long as they're able to still fight. As long as they can still fight, they're worthwhile to keep around. The problem is that a lot of these older vessels are just unable to handle certain upgrades. Downgrade you to induced, but we're going to have to try and get you up to 24 knots. Okay, you're going to have to keep forced. Yeah, you're definitely not getting the Citadel upgrade, that's for sure. Getting that radar upgrade, though. Upgrade that to 10. I can still shoot, right? Yeah, I can still shoot. What other things do we want to do with this extra weight that we have? Probably give this 8 inches and this 8 inches. That is probably about it, though, for what I'm going to do to it. There isn't much else. These things are kind of just anti-destroyer vessels at this point, is what these are. The Vanguard and the Cyber class, and to a lesser extent, the Blue Raptor class, are definitely... The plan is to convert them into just basically anti-destroyer vessels, where they only have like one single main gun and are covered in fucking secondaries. Only a few ships can support such a thing. So yeah, the cyber class is up next. And another ship that probably isn't going to see much done to it. Again, these things are using probably the lowest tier fucking command deck. So that is kind of why it doesn't let me up armor it as much as it used to let me up armor it for some reason. Because for some reason it now only wants to stick 4 inches of armor on some of them, which is a little ridiculous. Immediately cut back on the range. Get it up to 24 knots. Oil. Auxiliary 3 engine. Corvette 5. Flood 3. Radar. Surprisingly enough, a lot less I can do with this one, actually. Though to be fair, I did stick all these 8-inch fucking set count, fucking 8-inch guns in here. So, yeah, that's kind of on me. She is very much an anti-destroyer battleship. Being basically equipped to blow up anything in her general vicinity. Yeah, she goes 24 knots now, which is nice. And again, she is the kind of antithesis of a anti-destroyer battleship having only one main gun and just being decked out in fucking secondaries for fucking miles. Alright, off to the solar class now. Solar is another one of those ships that is starting to get up there in age. I think she should be able to reach the 24 knot requirement. I'm not sure she'll be able to reach both that and the radar requirement, though. We will see, though. We will see. She's got quite a bit of room, and I think I maxed out a lot of her range, so I can just cut back on that. Give her induced boilers. 24 knots. Okay, she's gonna need to stick with forced. Auxiliary engine, shaft 3. Barbette 5. Anti-flood 3. Cap shells are fine. Installing the radar. Hydrophone 3, so that way then you have a better chance at not getting shot by a torpedo. Get your armor upgraded correctly. No, I don't want to downgrade that to 1 inch. I want to upgrade it to 12, to 10. We want to make the guns a little bit longer. Yeah, sure. Considering she's meant to be a long-range gun shooter, yeah, we'll make the barrels a bit longer so then she can reach out a bit more to poke enemy targets. There we go. I guess I can install sonar as well. Got the space for it, might as well. Give her back a little bit of range. And that fixes most of the issues. Well, not most of the issues, but it does fix at least the solar class and being a bit more combat effective than its previous versions. Not just in armor, but also in the fact that she now has decent speed to boot. Ugh. Alright, Dave class is up next. "24 knots. Damn, even with force, she doesn't have the engine efficiency to be able to do it. I can't swap her out for turbo electric. Turbines won't do much good. Well, increase her anti-flood system. She has a torpedo installed. Oh, she has a broadside of torpedoes actually installed. Well, let's get her fixed up a bit. Her armor is a little bit more thin than I would like. Pretty sure that's the max tower. Yeah, that is the max tower. So I really don't know why it won't let me armor it more. Let's see. The Dave class also has the stereoscopic rangefinder, so I will make the 12 inchers a little bit longer. I forgot that she uses 6 inchers instead of the 5 inchers that the solar gets. Do I want to keep the underwater torpedoes on the Dave class? Probably not. She's really more meant for long-range engagements. She's never really going to use these in any effective sense. Even with basically no range, that doesn't work. Upgrade the 6 inchers so that way then they have a little bit more range. Upgrade the 2 inchers to give them a little bit more range and stopping power. That's the Dave class. Able to handle the upgrade and still have a bit of tonnage left over. In terms of it all being banked into range. Basically, range is a dump stat for ships in this game. That is basically what range is. It is, you've done everything you wanted to do, and there really isn't much more to do, so you just dump everything else into range. It's useful for, it's a lot more useful for countries like United States, UK, France, that have colonies all over. Actually, it's probably not, honestly, as useful for that, because it depends on how you design your fleet. If you have ships stationed everywhere, then it's really not gonna help you out all that much when it comes down to range. When you have ships in an area, range is more just so that way then you can send your ships longer distances. Oh hey, we're on to the Ling class. 24 knots, just like everyone else. Semi-oil. That already fucking saved quite a bit of weight. But we're gonna cut back on your range to get a little bit more out of you. Yeah, I forgot you got downgraded to 9-inch guns. Considering you're using stereoscopic, let's make those some decently long-range 9-inch guns. Increased ammunition. I'm surprised you were running fucking basically nothing. RDF. We can go up 1 tick, I think, in terms of range. Yeah, there we go. And the other benefit is the fact that if you have ships with long range paired with ships with short range, they can kind of help each other out. Oh, right, yeah, I forgot. I have to fuck around with the armor. Shit. Literally just 1 over. Alright, downgrade to Hydro 3. That fixed it. Good enough. Hydro 3 should be more than sufficient to help us out with doing the shit that this boat needs to do. Honestly, probably could have downgraded the funnels. So that way then it would weigh less. Alright, so get rid of the Oldling class, refit. What are we on to now? The Brewski? Yeah, the Brewski is one of the more well-balanced ships. Could honestly save a bit of weight by pulling these guns in closer. I think they can fit there. This is more just to get them up to where they need to be. Can we get you down to induced spoilers? No. Not without losing a little too much engine efficiency. Install the radar. You already have Conic 5. Sonar. You already have enhanced reload. Upgrade the armor. Yeah, I don't think there's much else I can do for you. I could definitely probably fit the, I'm gonna give these a little additional length just to give them a little bit more piercing. But she is definitely a more close-range ship, so she is pretty fine the way she is. Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, she's only 13,500 tonnage, really? Jeez. I mean, I could cut this out and pull this back, I think. Yeah, if I cut that out and pull that back, that's quite a bit of weight saved. If I do the same for you, it's a little bit of weight saved. What can I spend that on? Probably not much. I think we'll just save that little additional bit of weight for later. Yeah, the Brewski class is definitely one of the more well-balanced of the older vessels, so to be fair, she isn't as old as ships like the Sniffums. Boop. Didn't we already do that? No, we haven't done the Amana yet. Yeah, most of the stream today, the past few streams, have been basically just staring at this fucking, boat building simulator section. Because I have so many classes. We have a lot. We have a lot to get through. And then I already have to refit my newer generation warships. Didn't the Maverick and the Nestor come out with... No, they didn't. They didn't come out when fucking, Fuck. Anyway. A lot of these newer vessels are definitely going to be able to perform a lot better. In terms of being able to handle these speed upgrades. Whereas a lot of the other ones are going to struggle just a little bit. Why do you have soft capped? I guess I wanted you to be a bit more longer range with your munitions. I think a 12-inch belt is decent enough in 1920. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on 12-inch belt being good in 1920. We can cut back on range a bit because we have quite a bit of that. Do we go for Citadel 4? Yes, we go for Citadel 4. We do go for Citadel 4. Try to punch it up a bit so then it's actually worthwhile to have. And I guess we'll extend the 5s so that way then they have a little bit more reach and can prevent shit from getting too close to the boat. Yeah. A lot of these ships, some of them will see massive changes and other ones will just see very minimal changes. It's mostly due to the fact that some of the hulls, very moddable. Other ones, no. And even, like, for ships that were designed in, like, the 19 fucking 10s, they're gonna struggle a bit to take on some of these refits. Alright, Prince George class. The one we actually have multiples of. One of, like, 2 classes that we have multiples of. Can we go down to induced? Kind of? 99.7% engine efficiency I can live with. I forgot how short she is. She is a short boat. Stereoscopic rangefinder equipment. Upgrade her armor. Upgrade the length on her barrels. Never mind, there was a reason we didn't upgrade the length on our barrels any further. That's as far as they go without colliding with that. Drop her range a little bit. Can I fit a gun in here and it actually be able to do something? Nope. What if I put it here? Nope. What? What about here? No, it just does not want to go anywhere else. I could apparently put it here. The ridiculousness of this game knows no bounds sometimes. Yeah, those are all 7-inch guns. There's a lot of 7-inch gun. Ready to blast away at an enemy target. Do we cut down the range further? So that way then we can fit in the Citadel 4? Probably. Just to give her a little extra protection. And then we will put back any range we didn't use. We can put back one. And the British gave us a very interesting battleship to play around with. Of course, it is very similar hulled to the Birch class, so it does have some similarities. But I think in terms of the functions they both serve, I think the Stolen Prince George classes are a little bit more effective. Yeah, those caps are going to get updated when we refit this boat. Because those are the older 6-inch caps. I don't know if our new ones are going to fit. They clip into the ship, but the ship considers they fit. So if they fit, they sit. We'll keep 4 spoilers because boat is barely functioning as is. Radar. You use a conic rangefinder. Give you sonar. 8. 5. 5. Give you 12 inches of conning tower. 10 inches of superstructure. 8 fore and 8 aft belt. Cut back on the range severely. Change out for high capacity. And lengthen the 11s so that then they have a little extra range. And we still have some range left, so yeah. Our taxi class will probably see another refit in the future. A lot of other ships on this list, though, I'm starting to think their days are kind of numbered. In terms of functionality. Delete the old R taxi. We're on to the floofy. By the way, some of these older discontinued ship classes could end up making a comeback in the future if I really wanted to, because I can duplicate their designs from their refitted versions. So if they end up all getting wiped out, I can build more of them if I ever want to, which I highly doubt I will do. Can we go down to induced? Nope. We're gonna go up to electric steering though in shaft 3, auxiliary, barbette 5, anti-flood. Install the radar, sonar, stereoscopic 5. Upgrade these to 8. You have casemates? Where do you have a casemate? Oh, in the back. Well, that saved on weight. That fixed some of our issues. I am going to cut back on the range fully, though, so that I can get in the Citadel 4. And then we have that additional armor protection. I guess I'll put those 7-inch guns back. Actually, I'll upgrade them to 8-inch gun. The 8-inch guns don't fit back there, that's why we had the 7s. I forgot about that. Basically making these effectively 8-inch guns. They are effectively an 8-inch gun. I'll increase the weight on the back of the boat, so that'll level that out a bit. And provide some additional rearward protection against enemy smaller vessels. Smaller little itty bitty boats. Alright, on to the Walmart. This entire stream has just been upgrading boats. And the thing is that we're probably not even going to see some of these refits get done because I still have boats to construct. Which I haven't even built all that much. Again, dockyard space is just so fucking lucrative when you're building battleships en masse. Anti-flood 3, barbette 5. Still using TNT. Give it Gen 1 radar. Stereoscopic 5. Sonar. Considering the fact that the Walmart is another one of our long-range engagers, Might be best to upgrade her fucking citadel. Yeah, she's got Mark III 14s now, so that should do quite a bit of damage if they ever encounter any enemy targets. We have a few 5-inchers here to make up for the fact that I had to remove the 5-inch turret there. No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to lengthen them a bit. That way then they can poke targets that are trying to get in a little too close to the boat. Sort of ward them off a bit. Ugh. Our warship upgraded. Now, at the very least, with this speed upgrade and the fucking and the radar, we shouldn't have to refit these for quite a bit. Quite a bit is the key word. Technology will say otherwise, but I'm not going to do another mass refit like this for a while. Wartime emergency refits I might do. Jesus, the 80 can fit so much fucking more on it and still have it fucking extra space. Could even upgrade it to an electric turbine engine. Get Citadel 4. Capped ballistic is fine. Gen 1 radar. Sonar. Stereoscopic 5. Drop her range. So that way then I can fit in just that little extra more armor. Protect her vital systems while giving her a longer range 12-inch guns. Can I go to full natural? Nope. Has to be increased. Good enough. I'd say that's a fine upgrade.
Abu Dhabi.
Hello, Onyx. How are you?
Good. I see you fixed it. Thank you.
Yes, I updated it with the fucking quest compatibility as well. I did not do the loot upload.
That's okay. We don't have to worry about the loot upload till later. But I appreciate you fixing that ahead of time. That was nice.
You're welcome. Fuck, I didn't mean to click on that one. 20 more minutes of loading. Yay!
My thick hamla banglas, my ladies.
Calm down, we're on stream.
Ew, stream, gross.
Decommission this old one, and then off to the stolen German battleships. Yeah, I wish more countries I had negotiated into surrendering. So then I could have more stolen battleships. I honestly should have stolen a lot more battleships. Considering how expensive it is to build these damn things, I really should have stolen them. For the battlecruiser campaign, we're definitely gonna steal battlecruisers. That is definitely something that's gonna happen a lot more. Ooh, all of these are struggling to fit. If I get rid of you, you should be fine. If I push you forward a little bit, you'll be fine. You should be fine now. Stop saying you're not fine. Oh. That's the issue. Alright, move you forward a bit. Move you forward a bit. You two aren't colliding anymore. Huzzah. See how far back I can push you, and as far back as I can push you, that is like 0 direction backward. Why do you have a starboard weight offset? Oh, it's because you have a missing gun. Don't know why that was missing. That's been corrected. 24 knots. Damn, she is barely gonna be able to fit any of the fucking upgrades, isn't she? What gun caliber is she Oh yeah, 15-inch guns. I forgot that she was carrying those. Yeah. That is the reason why she is struggling here. Alright, let's make the beam smaller. I think we can get away with that. Do we have access to a different funnel? Hyper funnel 3. Let's see, 37. You both provide the same amount of funnel. What's the difference? But you provide a bit of damage control, though. Honestly, I can live without the slight bit of damage control. There we go. Alright, let's make her a little bit shorter. Far back on this can we go? Okay, yeah, we are struggling hard to get this boat to work. And it's definitely the fact that we're carrying around, in total, 3 triple 15-inch turrets. Yeah. I think I'm just going to have to accept the fact that I'm going to have to cut back on a few of these.
Dang.
Actually, can I... Is there a way I can shorten the belt? If I move all this shit forward, but then that's going to make the back end not weigh enough, and it's going to be front heavy, and that's going to be a problem. Alright. What if I just set this to 0? What do we get? Broken shit. That's what we get. How wide must this boat be to work? Alright, 7 is the maximum, roughly. Can we make her smaller? What happens if I just make her smaller? Other than the fact that all her equipment is floating in the air now, that didn't really help much. Let's put her back to normal. Put that back. Alright, we're just gonna exit this real quick, because I am not waiting 8 months for a fucking refit on that. Where is the H class? There it is. You. At the very least, we're almost through all of the boats that need refits. And then we can continue on for a couple more turns before I go make dinner. Thing is, do I sacrifice armor to make her a glass cannon? A long-range glass cannon, or do I commit to her being just shit? Yeah. Fortunately, the fact that I have to already move this forward doesn't help much. That should be functional now. Can I seriously not push this any more backwards? Alright, I can push that a little bit farther backwards. If I swap this out for a thrust funnel, I can stick it there. That gives me a little bit more room, so I can pull this back. Delete these for a moment. Put that there. Alright, that tightens up the belt a bit. Tightens up the belt just a little bit. Not much, and I wish I could tighten it up more. But she is very much finicky about what it is that she can and can't fit.
I find it weird that the MMD on this does not function. It's so weird.
I don't know.
I don't care. I don't care that it does. I think it's just because of how old the avatars are, or it's like something with the system.
The Roros and Lulus function perfectly fine. I have a toggle for it even.
Yeah, so does the Inga and my Lulu, but it just does not function. It's weird. It might be, well,
are you turning
maybe
it on
it's
or
the,
off?
I have it on right now. Yeah, I have it turned on. It's just weird. I think it might be the world.
Have you tried switching its status?
Yeah, I've run it on and off. I don't really care if it works or not.
Let's see. What can we sacrifice in order to fucking make this boat work? I guess I can downgrade it to Torpedo 1 and just try to remember to keep these things in the fucking back. They are not for frontline service. And even then, they're fucking barely able to function in the back. I have to find ways to fucking save on weight with these things. Alright, induced boilers, that's fine, I guess. 93% engine efficiency isn't great. Alright, at least got the armor upgraded. What about anti-flood capabilities? Nope. Barbette? Nope. Can we at least get shaft? No. Maximum bulkheads. How much do I gain if I go down to many bulkheads? I gain quite a bit. Alright, so I do gain quite a bit. Which allows me to at least fix some of the issues. Will that allow me to get anti-torp 2? Nope. Not in Sam Hill. We can get shaft 3, so at the very least she'll be able to turn a little bit. The many bulkheads is definitely a weakness. Maximum bulkheads is something you always want to strive for in this game, but considering she's gonna be at long range, bulkheads many should be fine. Yeah, the Germans really screwed me over with this fucking thing. To be fair, I am very much... it did not come like this. I was the one that chose to stick 5 triple 15-inch guns on it. So I've sort of done this to myself, but still gonna blame the Germans anyway. Alright, and then we're on to the ship classes that were literally designed last stream.
I am going to tell buddy quick.
What?
I am going to do something.
Alright, let's refit the J. She should not be too hard to refit, considering she has 62 tonnage left. She can handle a turbo-electric engine, for God's sake. Makes it fucking expensive, but turbo-electric engine, go burr. Radar, sonar, armor upgrade package. At least the 5 inches length, so that way then they can shoot targets a little bit more effectively.
January, but
Honestly, there really isn't much else to do with this boat. I could even give it more range, for God's sake. Make this thing absurdly long range. Longest range of the boats. Yeah. To be fair, when it comes down to these more recent ones, there really isn't much to do other than push them up to the new speed limit that I set for the battleships, along with adding the radar. Those are still the 2 main requirements. As long as we reach those requirements, we can at least do some shit. Hello, Lazy Space Monkey. You've probably joined in at the best time, considering we're winding down on how many ships are being refitted at the moment. Almost through all of them. Almost there. Still a few left, but we're getting there. We are getting there. The Grand Guy is fine the way it is in terms of all that shit. In fact, I can reduce it down to can I get it down to natural? Nope. Induced boilers. Definitely will need shaft 3. Anti-flood 3. And barbette 5. The 18-inch torpedo is fine. Gen 1 radar. Sonar. He has a conic rangefinder. I don't think she'll be able to support a Citadel 4. Yeah, I don't think she'll be able to support a Citadel 4. Increase the length on all the gun barrels a little bit, just to give them a little bit more punch. Especially on the 2-inch ones, because they don't got... Damn, your firing arc is shit. They don't got much good firing arcs. Anyway, that's a quick refit to the Grand Guy class. Ship we literally designed, like, in 1920. So yeah, technology has already advanced quite rapidly. Torpedo development hasn't gone that far in our inner circle of torpedo development, but most other shit has. Alright, and then we need to refit... Do I really want to refit these boats? I literally just designed them. There is... Alright. Well, I would love to stick the... Alright. Because the Zero has 16-inch, and we did just unlock 16-inch gun upgrade, we might as well at least do that one. Oh, now that I think about it, those are slots there for side-mounted guns, aren't they? Tempting. Tempting to stick more guns on this thing. That already has, honestly, a lot of guns. I'm pretty sure it could fit them. Actually, no, it could not fit them. This boat definitely would not be able to fit them. Not just because of the fact that I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be able to fit there. Those are definitely mounts for guns, though, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, those are mounts for bigger caliber guns. I mean, it says it's only colliding with the 2-inch gun, but this thing already weighs so much in the front. I'm not going to stick another fucking pair of guns up in the front. 24 knots, new speed. You can have induced. Can you have natural? You definitely can have natural boilers. You already have all the other protections installed. Most of what our issue is at the moment is just the fact that you are a little too heavily armored to be able to handle this. Oh wait, you're equipped with 10-inch guns. Oh, I was thinking of a completely different boat. Well, we can definitely cut back on your range. That saved us quite a bit of tonnage. What if we swapped out for a gas turbine engine? Yeah, that makes life a lot easier. Gas turbine engine saves the day once again. As it's just honestly the best engine when you're refitting ships. Because it's a lot less tonnage than a lot of the other engines. So yeah, which one was the one with the fucking 16s? Not the Maverick. It was the Nestor. Nestor was the one with the 16-inch guns, which are already out of date. I semi don't care, but at the same time, I'd rather get these things. It needs the radar for its long-range gunnery. So unfortunately, the ship we just designed, I can't actually order up a refit for because we don't have any of them in production at the moment. So never mind on that, but I think we ordered up a Maverick, didn't we? Think we ordered a Maverick? I think we ordered a single Maverick. Maverick being the smaller sequel to the Grand Guy class. Yeah, this one's gonna be a challenge because we're already struggling to fit fucking shit in here. There isn't much I can sacrifice on this one due to her mission profile. Guess I can get her main belt down to 16 inches. Even then, that's still a little too much. What about 20-inch torpedo, reduced ammo, 19-inch torpedo? There we go. A little less range on her torpedoes, but a little bit better firing arc because of the smaller torpedo. To be fair, again, with her mission profile, she doesn't really need full 21-inch torpedoes. They'd be nice to have, but 19-inch torpedoes are more than enough to deal with most of what she's going to be doing. Alright, we finally got everything refitted. Only took literally everything. And we can't even, like, of course we get balanced draft boilers after, and torpedo protection for. I'm not going through and doing that again. Not for that shit. Denmark wants a Grand Guy class, sure. Tino wants a Cyber class, sure. I was hoping for some shipbuilding capacity for myself, but apparently everybody else wants it. Improved ballistic tip. Alright, let's start at least trying to get these Nexavitas refitted. Since they are some of the smaller ships. Can at least get one underway for refit. It's at least something. Sorry again, everyone, that today's stream just turned into fucking refit galore. That was not the fucking plan. Sometimes turns just take way too long in this. At the very least, we're up to 86 ships. We are building 5 additional warships. But it ain't much. Oh boy, a battle cruiser. Something that we can't even use. And TNT-3. More things that I wish I had waited on. I should have saved the massive refit for next stream. Oh, we finished up a couple of the ships, so now we have some dockyard space. Finally! Oh, Bulgaria has scrapped their Alice-class battleship. Jesus Christ, they still had an original Alice-class battleship. Let's deal with some of that unrest. Argentina wants a Floofy class, sure, you can have one. It's definitely a lot more in-date than a lot of our other warships. Let's see. Let's see, 132, that's too much, but I can refit quite a bit of them. 118, 102 I can work with. And get all 10 of those refitted pretty quickly. Post 2D stabilization, accuracy penalty from sea waves decrease. Canada is once again trying to reclaim Canada. Who are Germany's allies at the moment? Well, they're about to end up in a war with the Italians, but they are friends with the French. That might prove to be a problem later. The French have now actually allied themselves with the British and the Germans. And now possess 142 ships. There is a showdown that is going to occur soon. And who wins is gonna be anyone's game. I might send a detachment to go claim Persia. Just so that way then, oh wait, no, Persia's allied with someone, isn't it? Yeah, it's allied with Italy. Yeah. No can do then. More steering gear. I think I already have a decent enough amount of steering equipment on my boats. We now have the first Mark 1 17-inch gun. Denmark wants a boat. Sorry, Denmark can't afford that. Finances. We have a lot of money, so, oh, nope, never mind. Can't max out the, the spending budget yet. Well, we're getting there. An additional 2% to the research budget. Oh, Belgium has signed on with our navy. Congratulations, Belgium. Welcome to the team. Sweden wants a Grand Guy class. We cannot afford to give you one, Sweden. We're gonna take that off of armor forging because I don't think we need more of that. We do need to decrease the weight on our armor. What do? You decrease engine weight. You decrease boiler weight. And the double geared steer turbine. You only have a 5% engine weight reduction. You're doing your thing. Now that we have Radar 1, I'm not really too concerned about getting more of that, so I'm going to move you over to Special Machinery. Alright, some more ships are done being refitted. Fleet. Ship designs. Falcon class. Get the last of them refitted. Ship design. Get the Sparkies up next. Ship design. Bellas are up next. Ship design. Sniffham's class. Yeah, we can get these refitted. Ship design, Alice class. We can fit you too, I think. Yeah, just barely. Oh, some more ships have finally left the slipways and have entered the water. Well, considering I don't want war with the British at the moment, we'll try to avoid war with the British. Advanced bulkhead protection, that'd be nice to have, but unfortunately, that is not what we are doing at the moment. You want a floofy class battleship, sure. To help modernize your fleet a bit. Let's see, those are all done. That means we're currently working on the Alice classes, which we have a lot of. Trying to get all these boats upgraded is annoying. Because I need to build more boats, but I also need to get these refitted so that way then they're actually effective in the next war. Boiler efficiency upgrade, that's nice. Denmark would like to order a cyber class, sure. A little bit out of date, don't you think, Denmark? I know the cyber class is a small, old ship. Like, you'd want a Nexovita class. That's what you want. That's actually pretty modern and able to handle quite a bit. Let's see. Ship designs. The last two Alice class on the refit table. And they take up a little too much space on the refit table. Well, now all the ships we're building that are new are for other people. Great. We're in this situation again. Where all the new ships are just for somebody else. Double-geared steam turbines, fun times. Magnetic mines. All right, fleet, ship design. Actually, back to fleet first because gotta put you back on the actually being worked on. All right, bridge classes are up next. I should be able to do those without overflowing the dockyard. I think I can get one Nexovita class being worked on as well. Actually, I might be able to get two Nexovita class being worked on. Actually, probably should work on the ones that aren't refitted yet. Those ones are definitely in more of a need of a refit. You want a floofy class battleship? Sure thing, Sweden. That, once again, takes up a lot more in my inventory than I would like for it to take up. Get you guys into the docks for upgrades. Alright. Italy has gained control of northern Algeria? No, they failed to gain control of northern Algeria. They did take northern Greece, though. $30, $37, $51. Fully welded hulls, which decrease hull weight and ship construction time, so that should decrease how long it takes for us to get these refits over and done with. Oh boy, destroyer tonnage. Something I don't need. Might as well get this one ship, the Nalvin, refitted, considering we only have the one. We're still refitting Nexavita classes. Where is that? There it is. And that puts us over. Pause that for a turn, so that way then we can, oh good, shipyard capacity went up higher. Too bad we're immediately gonna spend all of that money we just got on making the shipyard larger. It's a kind of annoying cycle. Especially when you're a country that started off with basically nothing for your shipbuilding capacity. Even with all of this captured home territory, like, our shipyard capacity has not gone up much. I feel like if you capture an enemy's home territory, you should get whatever shipbuilding capacity they have. Like, if you capture all of it, you should, or at least capture bits of it, you should get portions of their shipbuilding capacity. Because, that'd be very nice. Too bad as far as I know, the development of this game has ended. Again, I'd much rather have less unrest. Great. New hulls to play with. The assault battleship, the advanced small battleship, and the experimental battleship. You want a Nestor class battleship? I haven't even gotten to build one yet. You can't have one. Order something else from the list. Raise the research budget a little bit further. Yeah, we have 3 new hulls again. Fucking hell. I haven't even got through and, like, finished refitting the existing shit. Telling me we got 3 more hulls to play. To go fucking build ships for. Alright, I can get 1 Onyx under refit. Then, I get the blue, both, never mind. Can't get either of the blue Raptors under refit. Our ship design board has become a little ridiculous. Alright, we're gonna wrap up today's stream, but I am gonna look at the new hulls to see what they are. Oh, Jesus. It's French. That is very much a French hull. Very, very French hull. Didn't know China had a French battleship hull. I mean, I know most of their hulls are just stolen from other countries, but, okay, the modernized Dreadnought. No, we're looking at the advanced small battleship. So they gave us an even smaller hull for battleship. And is this smaller than the modernized Dreadnought one? Yeah, it is. So another hull for fucking the small battleship roll. Fuck. This one's actually kind of optimized for that shit. And then we have the assault battleship hull, which is just kind of a standard battleship hull, honestly. I don't know why it's specifically called an assault battleship hull. Unless it's meant to go fast, but... So we got French, we got whatever the advanced small battleship is. Honestly, this is... Its hull kind of looks post-World War II style. It sort of looks like a post-World War II style hull. I'm not entirely sure. Definitely kind of looks post-World War II. And then you just got generically flat hull. But yeah, that is that's a lot of shit. We are currently at a total of, well, more than 74 ships because 18 of them are under refit, so it's not an accurate number, but we do have quite a large navy. Of course, we've been knocked down a bit on the rating because nobody else is at war and everybody else is now starting to rebuild their war fleets. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, for the most part, it is fine. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed today's stream. Thank you for everyone that stuck around to the end. Don't forget to join the Discord if you want to stay up to date with all the shit that goes on, know when I go live, or just to chat with me off stream. Don't forget to check out the Blue Sky to have an hour way of knowing when I go live, and don't forget to check out the YouTube channel for all the VODs that get uploaded there Friday through Monday, same time every week, unless I forget about it. Especially if you're enjoying the fucking series so far, the little series with the silly challenge. I know it does a lot better on YouTube than it does on here, but hope everyone's enjoying. Hope to see you all next time. Goodbye, so long, and hopefully next stream we will actually get to fight the French. Next stream isn't going to be Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, but next time we stream Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, hopefully we get to fight the French. Enjoy the person I'm sending you all off to. Hope to see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone.